Hey guys, just Jani. I wanted to show you real quick how I do the whale's tails and mermaid's tails. They actually sell stencils. And I got this set of 2 at Flat Wearable Artisan Jewelry, which is at flatwearable.net. I don't remember what I paid for them, but they make life easier. It's a lot easier to get both sides the same instead of drawing it yourself. So here's one. I just traced it with my Sharpie, and all you have to do is cut it out and finish it. But here's something I wanted to show you first. These are already flattened. This is one, they look really cool, but when I used my Sharpie, I couldn't get in all of the, like my Sharpie only went halfway down and the point is all the way down here. So obviously I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to clean it off and do a different one. But unless you're going to maybe use your jewelry saw and do it by hand, these are too difficult. So I choose just the simple patterns, and it's a lot easier. It's more fun. So like this is a gumbo spoon, and it would be great for this huge whale's tail. And then like the little pointy spoons are good for these longer shapes. So let's go to the arbor press and flatten one out and see what we get. Okay, I think I want to do the big whale's tail on this big old gumbo spoon. If you haven't seen my previous videos, my RAM might look different than yours because I have the kit from, it's also from flatwearable.net. It's called the Bender Press, and it comes with this RAM with this plate for just for flattening your spoons. So I have this stamping block. I don't love this because my spoon is so big and it will gouge the edges where it hangs over. The kit does come with this, I don't know what it's called. I call it a hockey puck because that's what it looks like to me. It gives me a bigger surface, and I always have some pieces of leather laying around just so I don't give myself more scratches that I have to get out. So just go ahead and flatten that out. Okay, now that I've got it fairly started here, I'm going to switch to my metal plate to finish it. Just grab some leather chunks, throw it on there. See if we can't get it a little bit flatter before we trace it. Go. That's better. It does have this spot because it was such a deep bowl. It kind of gives it a wrinkle, but find my template. I was wanting to do this really big whale's tail, and that's going to land kind of just at the top of that. So I don't think that's gonna be a problem. So let's go trace it. Okay, just grab your Sharpie. Just try to line it up so that you have metal all the way. And I'm off center a little. Try and get that centered. On the more complicated ones, I will tape it down with just some blue painter's tape. But there's not much to this one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and trace it. Nope. Now I started to run off the edge on this side, but not the other, so I'm gonna scooch it over. Make sure my line is good there, which means this one's gonna have to come over. Okay, so that's what I have. Now I'm gonna cut this on my mini bandsaw. This is my mini bandsaw. It's a Proxxon. I don't remember off the top of my head where I got it or what I paid, but this is what I'm going to use to cut this out. And I'm not going to video it because my blade is getting kind of worn out and it's very loud. So basically, I'm going to cut off all this excess and then just follow this around, cut it out real simple. Okay, this is what it looks like off of the mini bandsaw. You see, it is very rough. That's mostly because my blade is wore out. But you could see, you know, it's rough and uneven. So I'm gonna go to my mini grinder and smooth this out. And then there's a fiber wheel on the other side that I will polish it a little bit and see if I can't make it look a little better. Definitely better, a lot smoother. I still got a jaggedy spot there, I see now. But I do run mine in the tumbler also, and that is Chica coming to help. Hi, Chica. I'm gonna get that spot, and then I'm gonna show you how I finish it and make the bail to hang it. Okay, back over here at the arbor press, ground off, smoothed out. I noticed I did not finish this notch, so I did take a little more out of there and smooth it. Now keep in mind, I run mine through the tumbler, so it's not going to look like that. So I'm gonna get this out of the way. With this bender press, you get these pins and nylon blocks with channels. I think you can still make this even if you don't have the bender press, but that's what I use. Makes life easier. I feel like this is going to be way too long, but let me get it bent around and see, because if it is, then I can show you what I do to change it. I'm also watching that flower because I kind of want that on the top. I kind of like that. But, you know, if it's too big or looks weird, I can change it. So I'm just using this and I'm just bending it around. Make sure it's straight. Turn around so I can see it. See if it's straight. Slightly off. I'm going to grab my rawhide mallet. the tail is slightly out of line with this, so I'm just gonna tap it over while I can. Actually, I kind of like it, but I do want this in a little more, and something I found you can do, switch back to this. I know you won't be able to see through my hand very good, I'll try to, but if I can get just the tip under there, I can bend that down a little. Let's see if I can do it. There it goes. I don't know if you can see under my hand. Just kind of smashing that down because I kind of like it like that. Okay. So I was able to keep the flower. And I like it the way it is, but it is a whale's tail. I want a little bit more of a curve. So I'm thinking of taking this bracelet block and taking this biggest roller and just adding a little curve. You can see it right there. It's kind of straight. Just adding a little bit of a curve to the tail. I'm not sure if I did anything there yet. Actually, let me get the smaller one and see. Make sure it's lined up. Oops. I think it changed it a little bit, actually. Might be slightly crooked. Let me go from this side just to make sure we're even. There we go. That way we've got a little bit of curve to it. And I have just a little piece of chain here I'm using for an example. I think that's pretty cool. So I might work on this. It's not quite as round as I would like it. And then it'll be ready for the tumbler. Okay, what I decided to do was I couldn't get it any more round the way I had it. So I went over to my mini bandsaw. I cut off a smidge, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So you see now I have this gap here, and I can close that gap and make it round the way I wanted. I did use my Dremel attachment on my grinder to smooth that out, just the edges real quick, because this is something that will go on my website, so I don't want any sharp spots that might snag somebody. Okay, so now it's more round the way I wanted and touching nice and flat. I still got to keep my flower on the top. So that's it. Simple whale's tail.